Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. Today I want to do another episode for my playlist, Two Bait Tuesday. That's where I basically select two baits that are kind of my must-haves for the period of time we're in. And we're in the third week of June here, so you know, the middle part of June is what I'm thinking. These are two baits that I've got to have. Now I'm going to have other rods and setups on the deck of my boat because it's that time of year. You can, try different presentations to kind of get a strike from bass that have seen a lot of things. So you definitely want to have some different presentations and present them in some different angles and even some different weights or even colors and looks. Before I get right into it, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. So two baits for the middle of June. The two baits that I'm gonna have is, generically speaking, I'm gonna have a topwater bait. I'm gonna have either a buzz bait or a walk the dog style bait, cigar style bait, like the Strike King Sexy Dog, or I might even have a frog. Because in June, you're gonna have some early topwater activity, but you're also gonna have some bluegill beds. There's some bait fish that are still up there in shallow water where you can catch them on a topwater bait. And so I'm gonna have some sort of topwater bait rigged and ready to go for any type of action. And one thing I wanna tell you guys is don't just throw your topwater baits early in the morning and then just put them away, say after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you put them away. The topwater bait can be good all the way through the middle part of the day. And if you have cover types where the bass can stay there in shallow water, whether it's lily pads or some sort of grass, maybe it's water willow, maybe you have some stump fields, or maybe you even have a couple of docks. You can skip your frog underneath. You can walk your topwater bait parallel to some floats on some docks, or even run that buzz bait, skip it under docks, skip it under overhanging trees, different things like that. But number one, I'm gonna have a topwater bait, whether it's a frog or a walk-in style bait. You can cover water, you can take advantage of some fish that are more aggressive and wanting to bite. And who doesn't love a topwater bite, catching some fish out there where you get to visually see that strike? It's just exciting. I love it. It's one of my favorite ways to catch them. Number two, I'm gonna have a jig. I mean, I really gotta have a jig. June's just such a great jig month. And I'm gonna start out with a football style jig. If I'm fishing out deep or in that mid-range to deeper water, say 12 to 25 or even 30 feet of water, a football jig is just gonna be a great selection for catching fish in deeper water. Now, you might be fishing a lake with a lot of brush piles or stump rows or even some timber, and you might want to go with more of a head design like that. And this head design is the Strike King structure jig. Comes through brush a little easier, doesn't get hung up nearly as bad as that football jig when it comes to brush. Now rock, the football jig shines, but these two types of jigs are great at, pulling along the bottom, dragging along the bottom, hopping along the bottom for fish that are, again, in that mid to deep water range. Now, maybe you don't want to fish deep. Maybe you're like me and you just love staying shallow. So then I would choose that type of jig. That's a Strike King skip-in jig. It's an Annie Montgomery signature series skip-in jig with a Strike King rage bug on the back. You might want some other type of trailer on the back there, but a jig that you can skip under docks, skip under overhanging trees, some sort of bait or jig that would work in that scenario is what I would definitely choose. So basically what you have for this period in my Two Bait Tuesday selection is either some sort of topwater or some sort of jig. Those are baits that I'm gonna have on my deck for this month or this period of the year. Hope you found that interesting. Maybe you found that insightful. Maybe it's some information that'll help you put some more fish in the boat as we fish through the remainder of this month. That's your Two Bait Tuesday video. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. And until next time, good fishing.